Hello and welcome back. You know what to do. Grab yourself a cup of coffee, grab yourself a cup of tea, or grab yourself a cup of water, and let's get straight into the news. Okay, wow. So in case you haven't heard yet, apparently Harry and Meghan have moved to Los Angeles. At first, I was a little bit skeptical, but then I saw that the news was being reported by Dan Woonton. He is the reporter from The Sun that broke that news. Dan has been getting quite a few exclusives lately. He was the reporter that broke that news about the lunch that Harry and Meghan had in London before they started their official Megxit activities. He broke the prank phone call, and The Sun also broke the story about Harry and Meghan moving to Canada in the first place. Then I also saw that this was being promoted in People magazine. And if you're not familiar, People magazine is essentially the place where celebrities go to put out favorable news about themselves, at least in the United States. So basically, if it's in People magazine, you can pretty much guarantee that the celebrity wanted it to be there. And very interesting because they have been putting out there that they are so happy to be away from the press. There was this article saying that Meghan was happier than ever, Harry was happier than ever, but here they are sticking themselves back into the press again. Very interesting. And like I said before, now that Harry and Meghan are pretty much celebrities, they have to keep their names in the news. So we are going to be hearing a lot about them. So let's pop over to this article from The Sun and check it out. Prince Harry and Meghan have fled Canada and have moved permanently to California. They took a private flight to the Los Angeles area before the borders between Canada and the United States were shut. Okay, let's stop right there. They took a private flight. This is all very interesting. Now, we know that Harry and Meghan have said that they were bullied by the press because the press called them out for taking multiple private flights. But here they are, taking a private flight right before the borders were going to be closed. I suppose they feel free to do that now that they are no longer going to be using taxpayer-funded dollars, but it's my understanding that they are still using taxpayer-funded dollars until the end of the month. Until the 31st of March, these two are still technically internationally protected persons. They would have had to coordinate with the local and national authorities. And at a time like this, when clearly those resources are being strained and clearly those resources are needed elsewhere, I think it seems really selfish. Okay, moving on. The Sussexes will set up a new home close to Hollywood, where we are told they are currently living in lockdown with their 10-month-old baby Archie. Last night, a royal insider said, quote, Harry and Meghan have left Canada now for good. The borders were closing and flights were stopping. They had to get out. But this move was planned for some time. They realized Canada would not work out for various reasons, and they want to be based in the Los Angeles area. So this, in my opinion, is absolutely crazy. So they went and they took as much of the Canadian taxpayers' resources as possible, because as we know, the Canadians were helping to supplement Harry and Meghan's security, and they were going to be doing that up until the 31st of March. So they took as much of the resources as possible, and then they bail and leave as they won't have that same Canadian protection anymore. And not only that, how silly does it look to be in lockdown in Los Angeles when Los Angeles has one of the highest virus numbers in the United States? Los Angeles is a pandemic hotspot right now. Let's just take a look at the number of cases in Vancouver Island, Canada, versus in Los Angeles. So what was all of this crying about Archie's safety? Oh, we have to leave the royal family because the safety of our son is at stake. But yet they go and take their infant son on a flight to a place where there are tons of cases, and it's really not safe there. Yet they want us to believe that they left the UK in order to protect Archie. I'm not buying it. And I'm sure we all remember when Harry and Meghan said that they wanted privacy. Harry was very emotional talking about this, saying that they wanted a more private life. This is something that they have said is one of the main reasons for them leaving the royal family. But yet, where do they move? They move to Los Angeles. Los Angeles is a place where they won't have much privacy at all. First of all, Los Angeles is a place where paparazzi pretty much have free reign to do what they want. The California paparazzi and photography laws are much more relaxed than in many other places in the country and also in the world. So right now, Harry and Meghan are moving to a place where paparazzi are free to take photos of them, even when those photos are taken on private property. The paparazzi are going to be all over them. And I also want to bring up a couple of interesting things about their move to the United States. Do you remember when Meghan Markle was adamant about not being in the same room with Donald Trump? There was news out there saying that Meghan would never move back to the United States as long as Donald Trump was president. So Meghan did not want to be in the same room with the president of the United States. And Harry was just insulting Donald Trump in that fake phone call. If you've forgotten, this is exactly what Harry said during that phone call. He said, quote, "The mere fact that Donald Trump is pushing the coal industry is so big in America. He has blood on his hands. But Trump will want to meet you to make him look better. But he won't want to have a discussion about climate change with you because you will outsmart him." So this is what Harry was saying to the prankster that he thought was 17-year-old Greta Thunberg. So in there, you can see that he has a lot of unfavorable things to say about Donald Trump. So here they are, and they're moving to a country where allegedly neither one of them likes the person in charge. And yes, going back to the plan, I think that this was always the plan. In fact, if you ask me, this was the plan from the time that Meghan Markle set her eyes on Prince Harry. This was always Meghan's master plan. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in just 1 second. Let's continue on with the article. So the article goes on and says, they have a big support network there. It's where their new team of Hollywood agents and PRs and business managers are based. Meghan has lots of friends there, and of course, her mom, Doria. The bombshell move, dubbed Megxit 2, has, quote, stunned and horrified members of the royal family. They believed that Harry, 35, and Meghan, 38, would consider returning to Britain to help their relatives. Royal courtiers believed the decision to move full-time to the U.S. makes a mockery of the couple's earlier pledge that they chose Canada because they wanted to live in a Commonwealth country. One said, quote, "We are stunned and horrified. The country is going through a traumatic event at the moment. They have a beautiful cottage in Windsor where they could have based themselves. It's just a stone's throw away from where the Queen and Prince Philip are in self-isolation. Prince Charles and Prince Andrew are both out of action too for very different reasons. This was an opportunity for them to put country before their own interests. California isn't going anywhere." Okay, now if they really believed Meghan and Harry would return to the United Kingdom to help, they are sadly mistaken. But yes, Meghan's plan was always to return back to Los Angeles. Take a look at these tweets from 2019. This is from December 2019. It says Simon Heffer reports in the Sunday Telegraph that the Duchess of Sussex complains about the weather and other aspects of life in Britain. Some courtiers fully expect the Duchess to want to go live in California. So this was in December of 2019. And we already know that. Meghan said for herself that she tried to do this quote-unquote stiff upper lip, and it didn't work for her. She was already insulting British way of life before she even left the royal family. She never wanted to live in Britain for a long period of time. She just wanted to elevate her social status. And now she's brought Harry on her turf. She can hang out with her own friends. She can live in the big mansion that she wants to live in. And she can have the rich woman lifestyle that she always wanted to have. That is, if they can figure out how they're going to make money. So, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. This was Meghan Markle's master plan. Harry is just along for the ride at this point, and who knows how long he will be on that ride before Meghan decides to throw him off. The bottom line is that these two are quite hypocritical. They say they want to protect their son, but then they move him to a pandemic hotspot. They say they want privacy, yet they move to the land of virtually no privacy. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video.